final speaker, Matt from Exile, is going to round off the speeches, and then we're going to have some singing. I know you're all looking forward to that.
Well, I don't mind.
Hello. Just like to start to say, as a non-binary transgender person, that there is no pride on a dead planet. Woo! So hi, I'm Matt, I use they them pronouns, and I'm a part of Exile Warwick District. I've been part of Exile Warwick District for a few years now. I've been down to Cornwall for G7, and I was up at Glasgow for COP26 last year. Now, we're at COP27 now. You might notice there's a pattern there. That number's gone up by 1. Does that really mean there's been 27 years of COPs? And we're still talking about it? What's going on? Look, all these hugely rich world leaders are coming together and talking about climate change, and then nothing happens. Already the UN has come out and said, oh yeah, all those goals we set last year, we've made no progress towards them. We aren't looking like we're going to stay under 1.5 degrees. We're actually looking more like 3.4 degrees raise in average temperature, which is alarming. And so, like, we look at what they are talking about. We see a lot of net zero or carbon neutral. And that sounds good on paper. But the problem is you're still putting carbon in the atmosphere when you're doing this. A lot of the time when companies are advertising that they're carbon neutral, they're just planting some trees that will eventually, in like 50 years' time, start to absorb the carbon that they're putting in the air now. We don't have that 50 years. That's ineffective. Yes, planting trees is great. We need to plant more trees to absorb the carbon that's already in the air. But if we're planting trees to control the carbon we're putting in the air now, it's useless. It does nothing. And so we look at other stances they're going for. You look over in Switzerland, there's the Orca project. It's a carbon capture, basically, factory. This huge, massive thing. It's the biggest in the world. It absorbs 4,000 tons of carbon a year. That sounds wonderful. But it doesn't quite work. I'm not going to go into the full stats. If you do want to see something about that, look up Adam something on YouTube. He's got a really good video on it. But basically, if you run that plant off coal energy, because it needs energy to run, if you run it off coal energy, the energy needed produces more carbon than it absorbs. Okay, well, coal's awful. So what about a slightly cleaner energy source? What about gas and oil? Well, that then you kind of work out it's about equal. You're basically doing nothing. So yeah, sure, well, run it off renewables then. That seems like the solution. But actually, that doesn't work at all, because then you're removing renewable energy from other places where it could be used. You are basically saying, well, we've got this free energy that we've created, but we're not going to put it towards productive use. We're going to put it towards something that it absorbs some carbon from the air, but then we could have stopped that carbon going in the air anyway by using that energy elsewhere. So they're doing a lot of talk about how to mitigate the carbon they're putting in the air, and not enough talk about stopping that carbon getting in the air. It's like if a cigarette smoker is trying to give up, but instead of actually stopping buying cigarettes, they're trying to use medicine to stop the illnesses they're getting from smoking. It's entirely useless what's happening right now. We need action. We need to divest from fossil fuels. We're still seeing our government, the Tories, are putting more and more money into fossil fuels. You know, Liz Truss wanted to frack again. Look at it, that's gone backwards. That's not happening now. But still, Rishi is investing tons and tons into fossil fuel. Our own environmental officer came out and said that fossil fuels are the key to solving climate crisis, which makes no sense to me. Literally, we don't have the time to steadily decline the amount of fossil fuels you're using. We need to stop using them fairly quickly. And that means, you know, we need to have a just transition. We can't just stop overnight. But we need to stop investing in new fossil fuels now. And they're still doing it. They're putting tons of money into it, and it makes no difference whatsoever. And so that's why I'm part of Extinction Rebellion. Because to me, as an individual, I've done what I can. I am vegetarian. I don't drive. I walk everywhere. I do all these things for the environment, but it doesn't make a difference if the world is still running on oil. So I take to the streets with Extinction Rebellion. We block up roads around Parliament. We demand change, because that's what the people need to do. We need to just act. We need to go into non-violent direct action and force the government's hand to actually make a difference. So, thank you. If you're interested in joining, we're over there. We've got a table. You can go have a cup of tea and some biscuits. Rob's over there. He'll have a great chat with you. Yeah, I've already been there. Yeah, so there's going to be a big rebellion in London next year. We need as many people as we can get down in London, forcing the government to do something. So come and sign up, plan it with us, and come down with us. Thank you.
Thanks, Matt. Right, before the choir, if the choir want to start making their way up here, there's